What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today I'm going to be going over how to 100% Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The reason I'm making this video is because I googled this and a whole bunch of people are saying some incorrect stuff, so I figured it would be a good idea to do some testing, some observations, and make a video informing you on how you can 100% this game. The first thing I want to go over is if you look at the bottom right of the map right now, you're going to be seeing 82.42 out of 100%. In order to get that information to appear, you do need to destroy Ganondorf. You do need to go down underneath Hyrule Castle, you need to do your business, do the whole end of the game, and then you're going to be getting counters on a number of things, including this map, which is called the 100% map counter. You're also going to be getting your main quest counter, your side adventure counter of 60, your shrine quest counter of 31, your side quest counter of 139, and your memory counter of 18, which I'm not going to show right now. You'll also be getting your registered recipe counter below at the bottom right of the screen down there. That's all going to be showing up after you destroy Ganondorf to help you know if you're 100%ing the game. And there are many different things that are going to be added to the map throughout your time playing. About 2,500 things are going to be registered to the map in total. And all of the items that are going to register on your map are all going to be part of that 100%, so each of them is about 0.04%, with some caveats that I'm going to explain later in the video. The largest of them, at about 36% of your entire game progress, is going to be your Korok Seeds. There's going to be a total of 1,000 Korok Seeds, 800 of them that are going to be regular puzzles, and there's going to be 200 of them that are going to be associated with pairs. You know, the come help find my friend, like these guys right here. Completing this and getting the 2 seeds is going to be 1 counter on your map. So doing this and getting 2 seeds is going to still equal 0.04%. It doesn't matter the fact that you got 2 seeds. All that matters is that you now have 1 map icon of Korok times 2. The second largest thing is going to be nameable locations. This is a difficult number to figure out. It's at least 28.6%. It may be almost double that. And it's really weird and it's inconsistent, so I can't give you an exact number. And there are so many different labels on the map for locations. By the way, some of the most missable are going to be the random ruins all throughout Hyrule Field and bridges. Like this little tiny bridge right here that's called Gliok Bridge. Oh, definitely the Sargon Bridge right here in the Farin region. I definitely missed that one. Now, where it gets really inconsistent is, for direct example, the Stolok Bridge right here. If you touch and register the Stolok Bridge, for some reason it counts as 2 locations. So you get 0.08% on your map. Another inconsistency that I've directly observed, at the Dueling Peak stable, I had the big twin bridge registered, and then once I got the little twin bridge registered, just this one was also 0.08%. So some of these locations are going to be acting as 1, some of them are going to be counting as 2. The good news is pretty much every single Sky Island is going to be its own individual location. The depths are a different story. There are going to be a whole bunch of small mines everywhere that have nothing for you except 20 crystallized charges. And you can only see it once you fully zoom in, like the Grenage Canyon Mine and the Double Canyon Mine. Both of these counted, there was nothing cool there. All of these groves, anytime you're gonna be seeing a large cluster of trees, and inside that cluster of trees is going to be this small horseshoe shape, which is actually gonna be a big hollowed out log. These were some of the locations of the weapons and clothing from previous Zelda titles that used to be Amiibo exclusive. Those groves are all going to be adding toward your 100%. Like here, the Hikale Grove, you have your little circle thing right in the middle. All of the named locations are going to be the largest percent of everything, which is also going to be including all of the many forge constructs throughout the map, all of the bargainer statues on the map, all of the specialty shops, including like the smithing construct, the various fast travel locations like the entrances of temples. All of those things are going to contribute to your location percentage, which it may be the largest or near the largest, equal with the Koroks. Oh, that also includes the Great Fairies and the Melania Spring. Every single thing that has a name, that counts. Before going around and trying to register all the locations, which is what I'm currently doing, I would definitely recommend doing the Koroks. I didn't want to do all the Koroks, I wanted to figure out the math. Unfortunately, you can't figure out the math unless you know exactly how many Koroks you have and how many of them are the pairs, because there's going to be a random variable of 50 Koroks missing one way or the other, and you don't know how many of those that you have. Unless you do every single one of the 1,000 seeds of the Koroks, or you find all 50 of the travel pairs, until you do that, it's impossible for you to calculate exactly how many things you're missing. Next is going to be all 152 shrines in the entire game. That's going to be equaling 6.08%. All 120 of the Lightroots, which is going to be equaling 4.8%. Cave entrances. There are 194 cave entrances in the entire game. I don't believe it matters if you have the check mark, because the check mark is just going to change the cave entrance, but you do have to register all of the entrances of caves, which the absolute most notable example of that is going to be here, the Ancient Altar Ruins in the East Barrens. You have to go into each one of these quicksands in order to get all of these cave entrances to register. So it doesn't matter that they have the exact same name, all of those locations, those map icons, they all count. For each one of them, 0.04%. Where are the wells? There's a total of 58 wells in the entire game, all throughout Hyrule. Most of them are going to be in Hyrule Field, near the various ruins that you're going to be coming across. Those are going to be adding up for a total of 2.32%. Chasms. There are going to be a total of 35 chasms throughout the entire game that all have the specific chasm icon. Those 35 chasms equal 1.4% of the entire game. It should be noted though that the wells, like here is the Rowan Plain well, this is actually going to be a well, even though it does bring you to the depths. Some of the trickiest of these is obviously going to be the Rito Village Chasm, which is only going to be accessible once you're at the shrine, walk forward, look at the front of the cliff, and you're going to see a hole in there. Here's the Hyrule Castle Moat West Chasm. Inside of this rock, you're going to find one. Going from the water on the right side is the East Chasm, and then definitely is going to be the chasm underneath Zora's Domain. That one's a tricky one because you have to enter this cave over here. Device dispensers. You need to register all 30 device dispensers in the entire game because they appear on the map. That includes all the ones in the sky, the 3 of them that are going to be on the surface, like the one here at Kakariko Village, the one here next to the mini stable. By the way, you need to register mini stables. That means the one here and the one in Lookout Landing. You don't actually have to find everything inside of the dispenser as long as you go to the dispenser once it counts. And then all of the depths dispensers, which I believe there's only 2 in the entire game. One of them is next to the fire temple here at the abandoned Elden Mine. Oh, and there's one going to be inside of the left leg depot. If you already did the bit of story and didn't register this one, you can go to the entrance of the left leg depot and use the send and make your way back in there. All of the main stables in the game are going to be their own counter, and that's all going to be 0.04% each. All of the Skyview towers throughout the entire game, all of those are going to be counted as well. Dragon tiers. All 12 tiers of the dragon need to be registered in order to 100% the game. Has nothing to do with the memories, has to do with the map icon. Ancient tablets in the sky. Those need to be found, photographed, and deciphered for them to show up on the map properly. Specialty shops, like the Sand Seal Rental Shop, need to be registered, which it may be registered as soon as you go to Gerudo Town. I'm not really too sure about that. Both of the crystal refineries in the game need to be unlocked for your 100%, and that is everything that's going to be contributing toward your map 100%. If it does not leave a brand new icon on your map, it doesn't count. The most casual definition to 100%ing is going to refer directly to the map counter. However, it's generally seen as you also have to have all the quests complete as well. But there are some other 100% counters that some people have created for Breath of the Wild that I'm just going to briefly have a little pop up in the corner to let you know, as far as like 100% plus, which requires things like the Medals of Honor that you would typically do. But then there's also extreme levels of 100%ing, which also includes opening every single non-respawnable chest on the entire game and getting 999 of every single material that only real extreme 100% are going to be doing. So as I go through this, I'm going to have a quick little boop over here to let you know what criteria these are seen as. Clothing. You do not need to acquire any clothing in the entire game in order for you to 100% the map, except for the charged headdress, which is story related. That piece of clothing is going to be required. The Yiga outfit is not directly required, but it is required for you to do things that involve the Yiga clothing, such as this one shrine over here that's only accessible with the whole Yiga clan questline thing. There is no counter for chests in the game, meaning that, you know, you don't actually have to acquire the Hylian shield at any point in order for you to 100% the game. While having all of the registered meals, all 228, is nice to have, that is not directly related to 100%ing the map, but most people consider that part of the 100%ing of the game. You don't technically need to have the device dispenser inventory unlocked in order to 100% anything, but me personally, seeing those question marks there would just bother me. All of the sages are not directly required to 100% the map, except for some extreme circumstances. However, completing the sages is required for your different amount of quests and side adventures. Unlocking the camera is required for a quest, but not required for the map 100%. You're actually not required to max out your energy cells or batteries, although most people would absolutely do that because you're going to definitely have the resources. Getting all of the paragliders in the game is not at all required to 100% the map or the adventures or anything else. There are going to be some that are directly related to quests or reward for quests, but having all of them is not mandatory, and taking pictures other than the choo-choo for just that one is not mandatory. Keep in mind, 2 of them are currently unobtainable through official means because those amiibo are coming out holiday 2023, although I did make a video on how you could do that with NFC cards and the bin files. Collecting all of the Korok Seeds, all 1,000 is required. Pose don't matter, crystallized charges don't matter. Getting all 12 schema stones and getting all 34 Yiga schematics is not required, although you are going to be at 11 of the 12 locations for schema stones, being the forges underground, so you might as well just get the schematics while you're there. As I mentioned before, chests don't matter, so you don't need to go around and get the 31 various old maps. The item that you get for finding all of the wells is going to be the All's Well. However, it does require an NPC interaction. That is not required for you to 100% the map. However, it is required for a quest. The Dispelling Darkness medal is awarded to you after you found your last Lightroot. I actually don't know if you have to activate a Lightroot for your 100% counter or just find the location. Same thing with shrines. I'm actually unsure of that. Someone leave a comment down below. The Medals of Honor are not actually required for you to 100% the game at all by any means. It's not tracked on adventure logs, it's not tracked on the map or anything else. So if you want to go ahead and defeat all the mini bosses, go for it. Do I have all the saddles? Looking in the game's file, there's a total of 6 icons for bridles. Oh, I have 5 of them, but one of them is the one that's locked at the stable only during the customization screen. I am missing a saddle though. It's green colored. Someone pointing it out. It's a Ponus saddle, and because of that, it's not going to be registered as a key item. I no longer have the Booble Gem icon because I gave all of them to Colton. I am missing the key icon for Hestu's gift. And yeah, that is every single thing that can be counted toward 100%. Now, I personally want to give a huge shout out to the people who run Zelda Universe. I've been chatting with them and working with them for all of Tears of the Kingdom. They own the website ZeldaMaps, which is their interactive map. This is different from the object map. If you've seen some of my videos, I talk about specific object maps. This is the object map, which is part of the ZeldaMods.org website. I don't know them officially. This is where you should be going if you ever need to find like a specific type of enemy that can or cannot scale up. But for tracking your 100%, I recommend ZeldaMaps. Ever since I made my video talking about the pristine weapons, they just went into the data mine and found every single ghost location that can hold weapons in the entire game. So they updated their website based off of the video I made. Fantastic people. They're very proactive on being able to update and have things in here. There's constantly new features being added.
And just for dramatic effect, here's a super fast scrolling list of all 715 locations. Okay, it's over now, bye.
But as far as the Koroks go, this is hands down the best place I have found in order to do them. They ran the data mine, came up with all the locations, but it didn't have which Koroks were actually linked together, like for the carry and pairs combos. So they manually went in there and drew the lines, as well as all the Koroks that are going to be the little flower quest that you have to go find the various flowers. And the Koroks that require you to go on top of a platform and then either reach a ring or land on another platform down below. I went through and did all of Central Hyrule first, and then I did all of Hyrule Ridge, and then I did all of Tabantha Frontier, all of Hebra Mountains, and now I'm finishing up the Hyrule Great Forest, and then I'm going to be making my way to Death Mountain. Now, I've definitely gathered some Korok Seeds randomly here and there, and as I'm going through, before I check off those locations, I come here and make sure, hey, there's supposed to be one here. Did I get it already? I did. And then you could always just hit this button that's going to be showing you all the ones that you have already completed, so you could double check. Yeah, kind of gratifying to see that. Now there's a high likelihood you're going to be at the point that you're missing 1 or 2 Korok Seeds. I would just open an incognito window, reload the map on here, and then it's going to be a fresh map, and then just do one instance and mark off every single thing one at a time, and it's going to take you hours. But it's the best way to make sure that you have all those Korok locations done. That's what we did in Breath of the Wild. That method still works here in Tears of the Kingdom. And people have been leaving comments on my video saying, hey, I'm stuck at 99.92, which means that they only need 2 more things on the entire map. If you go and you have done all of the quests, all of the side quests and everything else, that means you're missing 2 icons from your map. Check your bridges, check your ruins, go through anything that looks large and out of place, check that as well. Use online resources like ZeldaMaps, or if you want to use the object map, go for it. The Merida Exchange Ruins, I was also missing that one. There's a mini game down here that's not required for anything story-wise, right here. Ultra Ball Hall check-in. This isn't required, and it's a fun little game to just bring a ball forward as far as you can. I'm just really fearing that it's going to be one of the caves, and I accidentally clicked an extra cave. Like, this whole area in Zora's Domain with multiple cave entrances is a nightmare. This one cave has 4 entrances. Why? Anyways, guys, there you go. That's all the things that are going to be considered 100%ing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on a map level, on a quest level, and then typically what people like to do for the 100% plus runs. If you're one of those people who are at over 99% and then you found it on the map, leave a comment down below with what was the last thing that you needed on your map, and maybe someone else is going to be able to find that one location helpful. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up. Till next time, Austin John out.